Picking Poppy and Sullivan King out with them. They'll play Cleveland in the spring, Saturday night, March the 9th at the Romo Fijo. Tickets, info, everything else, rocketmortgagefieldhouse.com. I think they got the great Brooks Wackerman on the drums. But if you dig those guys and want to go, be caller number 10, and you will. Good luck, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Who needs broadcasting awards?
I like the sound of my own voice award.
When you've won World's Sexiest and 5 years in a row.
And the winner is
Alan Cox.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Avenged Sevenfold cover and Sabbath's Paranoid. I don't know if they do this live or what this was originally part of, but it's a good version. They don't dick around with it. Some songs, there's no reason to make it your own. It's already a undeniably classic track, so you just play along with it and have fun. I was reading a thing on Ozzy this morning. He said that he's open to making AI music with Randy Rhoads, who has been dead for a long, long time, but for a lot of people considered the high point in Ozzy's solo career. Who knows what would have happened had Randy Rhoads not been killed in that plane crash at, I think, 24, something like that. But he's the guy that played in Crazy Train and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, Ozzy's got more...
Guitarist?
Randy Rhoads, guitarist,
okay.
Yes. Ozzy's got more days behind him than ahead of him. And so he's got Parkinson's and all that. So I'm sure he's looking at what he can do before the inevitable. And, you know, he's like, look, AI is not going to replace what we do, but you also can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. And so if there was a way to, you know, let him at least in spirit reconvene with Randy Rhoads, who was, he was on Ozzy's first 2 solo albums. He was on Blizzard of Oz. He was on Diary of a Madman. And then he died the year after that, I think. And to this day, Ozzy is like, I've never gotten over losing Randy Rhoads. He was a young guy, 25, a plane crash. And so he's like, yeah, I would absolutely, you know, at least look at doing something along those lines. So who knows what'll happen there. I mentioned at the top of the show, it was a bit of a thank you, a bit of a pat on our back, but really it's a pat on yours if you listen to us on iHeartRadio, specifically in Ohio, because I got the note this morning that our show, along with Rover and WMMS in general, we are the most streamed iHeart podcast in Ohio, in the state of Ohio. And the frustrating thing has been for some people, and the reason that I give the company such a difficult time about the app is that a lot of times the user experience can leave something to be desired, because for whatever reason, I post this show as a podcast in a very specific way. And that all goes out the window when, for whatever reason, advertisements are just dropped in the middle of segments rather than where they're supposed to be. They'll just start playing in the middle of us talking or doing something. It's as if the app has it out for us. I got an attachment from Evan, and he thought that it was funny because of the ad placement or the ad itself. But it made my hair burn because of when the ad dropped in. I'm going to play this for you.
Oi. On the Buzzard. WMMS.
As of beginning of 2024, I will be relocating to
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my den.
Mary's getting ready to announce where she's moving and when. Ad comes right in, and the killer is.
But it's funny that it's relocating me to the casino.
It's a gambling gambling
my
ad.
sentence. I'll be relocating to Lucky Land Casino.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. He goes, "This is the greatest misplacement of it." You know,
I mean, that's
but ha ha ha.
No,
I
that's
don't.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't need this. So anyway, the thank you for making us the most listened to company podcast in Ohio. The thank you is to you, because it should not be. It should not be a laborious process to use this app.
As of beginning of 2024, I will be relocating to
Lucky Land Casino asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
What's the weirdest place you've ever gotten lucky? In the middle of a segment, probably.
That's so aggravating. Oh, man.
Thing you weren't crying, though.
I know.
Good thing you weren't crying?
Like, that's one thing to throw off, like, the mood. She's just, like, upset about her dad, or she's just going through a lot. And she's just like, I just don't know what to do. Well, you can get lucky at the Lucky's Casino. Like, it just would be funny.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Dang.
Thanks if you've been able to make it through there.
Is Mary sure that her cat's going to get along with this other person's cat? That's my concern. Gene from Parma.
That's Gene from Parma's concern, is whether or not your cat is going to get along with your new roommate's cat.
That's a valid concern.
Why don't
I
you
have
just
no
leave your
idea.
cat here?
Because she's my best friend. I've had her for.
But you're going to make new friends in New York, Mary.
She's my girl. She's my ride or
You're
die.
going to be throwing that cat out the window.
She's going to be apartment cat, city cat, Dutch in the city.
She might not like it.
She might not like it. She's lived in apartments before. She's never lived in a place that's noisy. And she's never met another cat. So I don't know. It could be an absolute horrible situation.
Yeah, you're going to have a tiny apartment with two people. It's going to smell like piss immediately
Smell like piss.
because two cats. What's it going to smell like? Tell me.
Clean people.
Tell me what's
We will clean the litter box daily.
You guys can be as clean as you
Air
want.
fresheners.
Big apartments smell like cats when you have them.
That is a concern. But that's not really something, I mean, you just kind of got to, there's no way to know. My cat is a hider. So if anything, if she's not happy, she'll just stay under the bed. So I don't know.
It is a trial by fire, though, I guess.
Right.
to
You
your
can't
point.
really anticipate it. It's not like they can text each other. FaceTime or something. Like, what are we going to do?
I mean, you two could absolutely FaceTime with your cats in the thing.
But
and
they
get them
don't
to-
care. They don't know what's going on. Trying to introduce them to one another.
Does she react to cats if you put them on TV or something?
No. But my
My
sister,
dog loses her mind
She
when
does?
she sees animals on TV,
she
especially
like
dogs.
jump up at it.
She just goes, because she's like, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
Like, she's fine if she sees a dog out in the wild, but when it's in our house, she's like, this is my space.
Yeah.
You do not come in here. And then
Territorial.
gone. And then she's like, where'd they go? I scared them.
Yeah.
I did a good job.
Look at me.
You're safe, Dad.
Look at me killing it.
Don't worry about
You're
it.
welcome. I'm going to take a nap.
Scared that dog away.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're just going to have to find out.
Maybe you can get a third cat to mediate.
We will not do
No?
that. No more
Two
cats.
max?
That's too many cats. Dude, we're talking 700 square feet. I think this room is 700 square feet.
Maybe.
That's a little place to have that many cats.
I mean, I think one cat is two cats too many.
Probably.
But you don't want a third one to mediate. In any
It might make
situation.
it worse if the third one takes a side and then one of the cats is ganged up on.
You just hear bottles clinking
Right.
on the street.
Drawing little knives. I don't know what they're going to do.
Right. How did they learn to ride motorcycles? I never taught them that. What an exciting time to be alive for your cats.
No, it is. One of my buddies was like, why don't you just go get a sublet by yourself for a couple months, this, that, the other. I was like, I am not moving my cat 3 times in 6 months. And I also don't want to plan my life around somebody else's life. Because sublets almost never work.
Oh, they suck.
Or you're there for 1 month and like, hey, I'm actually coming home early.
Yup.
Or I
It's a
need this,
huge,
or I
it's a
need that.
colossal pain in
Actually,
the
they sold
ass.
the building and I have to,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely not. Oh, you're going to save? Yeah, well, the $300 I would save by moving myself that many times, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
In related news,
Yeah.
the show on December 28th is officially sold out. my going away show at Hilarities. No more tickets, which is absolutely insane. 48 hours, you guys sold that out, which
Should have left sooner.
I know. That's what he said. Rob texted me. He's like, hey, I went to go get tickets to your show and they're all gone. He's like, you should just leave every 6 months. pay your rent all the time. Yeah. Yeah, not do a never-ending I'm moving show. But yeah, thank you guys so much. There are talks of maybe adding a second show, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. That's a lot. I might not. But thank you guys very, very, very much for selling out that.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
It's
Because that's
insane.
also like, that's a nice wad of cash you got to.
Dude, and that's the other thing where it's like that is going to pay for 1 month of me living in New York City. But
it's a month. It could be a very hardworking, productive month.
Yes, it is. Which is, I mean, the less you have to worry about, the better, So if that's one thing that I can take my mind off of, but.
Broward Sheriff's deputies arrest a man who they say has more pussy than he can handle. I'm Kathleen Corsa with that story coming up on Channel 6 Action News.
You don't want to be that guy with all those cats.
My whole thing is, I know it's New York, but I don't want to move anywhere that's colder. The weather is worse than Ohio.
It is.
And that, ugh.
It's honestly,
Worse.
I've never been there in the winter. I don't know that it's necessarily worse as far as like snowfall and
In New
things
York?
like that.
It depends. Like,
I've only been in the winter.
I've only
never
in the
been to
summer.
New York in the
It's
summer.
Horrendous.
Well, it smells.
No, it is 100%
it's hot.
humidity.
It's
Like,
humid, and
it's so bad.
the city just cooks because
Yeah.
it's all cement.
Sticky.
And the winter is brutal because you're walking everywhere.
Yeah.
So you have to have, also for rain. So you have to have rain boots. You have to have
Layers.
snow boots. And then you got to carry shoes with you in your backpack because, like, when it rains, things flood all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going in the subway.
And there's trash on the ground.
There's trash everywhere. It's real gross. But I was in a snowstorm when I was living out there, just trying to get to the airport, like dragging my luggage.
Ugh.
So it's not fun, but
Land of opportunities.
you
You can have
there's
vegan
trade-offs.
ice cream at midnight.
Yeah, there's and there's plays. You want to see plays,
You
right?
wanna see a
Yeah,
play.
you can't afford them, but
But you
That's the
could.
thing is, that, the city, there are a lot of people leaving. I mean, obviously plenty of people move because it's a great place, but they are losing people because they're like, it's impossible to afford living there anymore.
Yeah.
So many people getting priced out. That's true of a lot of big cities.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. When I was looking, I looked briefly at apartments here in Cleveland, and to find a decent one-bedroom apartment is like $1,250. And I'm like, I mean, $1,000 minimum unless you're living in, a place that I don't maybe want to.
What you trying to say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. All I'm saying is if I'm going to pay $1,250 to live in Cleveland, or I could have a roommate in New York for $1,500 or $1,600,
What
Yeah,
would the
a couple of people were trying to troll you by saying like, Mary gives Poundcake a hard time roommate. No, she's got a roommate. Like, yeah, she's moving to New York though.
Yeah, that's way
Poundcake.
different.
Yeah, we're talking about Poundcake being a grown man, and
We're splitting a $4,000
there's
apartment.
actors that live in New York that are on like SNL that have roommates. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
Pete Davidson lived with his mom till like 3 years ago. Like that's
Right.
not.
Those are apples, very much apples and oranges.
It's completely different.
Yeah. And besides, Poundcake's got his own spot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing
He's
his
living
thing.
on his own. He's doing great. I assume. I don't know.
I'm doing it.
His clothes are out of bags.
Yes, they're out of bags.
Yeah, good. Step
Most
in the
of
right direction. And he's going to see Mariah Carey tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting excited to get drunk?
Oh, you're gonna start drinking before the show ends?
No,
I'll do
I'm
a shot
going
with
to.
you.
I'm going to.
Do a shot. Look at Bill being an enabler.
No, I'll do it before we do sign-offs. Because I got to go get my bag anyways. No! Hell no! Well said, Poundcake. Oh, it sounds weird saying my own name. Ow!
You don't say it when you're in bed with yourself.
Oh,
Squeaky
yeah.
time?
Yeah. Oh, he's whispering to himself.
God, you want to run into your own arms?
Cody doesn't like Poundcake all the time. Poundcake likes Cody because Cody's cool. But Cody and Poundcake,
You don't get along?
That should be your podcast. It's just you doing conversations between Cody and Poundcake.
That would be crazy.
It'd take a while, but it'd be interesting.
Like Fight Club and the
Hello,
podcast.
Poundcake. Hey, Cody.
Hi, Cody.
That's something to try. I bet there's no other podcast like that out there. There's 4 billion podcasts, and about 8 of those have listeners.
And we're one of them.
We're one of them, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about outside, overall. That's just in the company. But you could have an unprecedented concept for your podcast. It's an hour of you having conversations with yourself. You'll never lose an argument.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, but he always is hurting his own feelings.
I do.
well, that's where the conflict comes in.
I hurt my feelings last night.
How?
I'm not even going to get into it.
You have to.
Oh, you just made a mess. No.
I want to clean that up.
No, it wasn't that. It was an argument with my soon-to-be husband.
Oh, my God.
Like my soon-to-be make-believe husband. He wanted me to golf.
What?
He wanted me to golf, and I didn't want to golf, but then it was a compromise. And, someone said a racial comment to me, and it really made me sad because he was white.
Your husband or someone at the golf club?
One of his golf buddies.
What was the comment?
Wait, what is the what is the context here?
This is a scenario I created in my head. It has no substance whatsoever, but I am dating a white guy, soon to be my...
This is a dream you had?
This is a fight he had yesterday with himself that he hurt his own feelings.
Internal scenario that I just cooked up one day. I don't know why. I was pooping probably, and I was like, if my husband is white, he's going to be into white activities like golfing. And what if he wants me to come with his golf buddies, and that I'm not athletic? I probably going to go for the outfits in the
How
food.
did you get to this point in your brain?
I don't know.
It started here. Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah, this
You're
is where
not
it
gonna...
came from. And then...
I mean, everything comes from somewhere.
There's no logic.
Yeah, and then I was just like trying to golf, and then the guy called me like a racial slur, and then...
That's not how it's pronounced. It's not called golfing.
Hey, this is his dream. It can be whatever it is.
But that was pretty much it. So I hurt my own feelings, and I was mad that my soon-to-be husband, my fiance, did not stick up for me. He let his friends make hypothetical fun of me, and I didn't like that.
So did you make believe leave him at the golf course?
I was hurt by it, but that's where my scenario ended.
Then you were done pooping.
You didn't make up later. Be like, you know how sensitive I am, especially when I'm trying new things. And he's like, I know. He was just teasing you. That's how guys are when they're hanging out. Because he's obviously more butch than you because he,
golfs
and stuff.
Bill's writing Act 2 for you.
Yeah, he's pretty. And then when I got a big load, I go put it in there. But that was the scenario. So there's no rhyme or reason. No, it didn't happen. It's not even close to happening. But yeah. And my fiance was divorced with 2 kids. I forgot that.
All within this. I know you sit on the toilet for a long time, so.
Well, it started on the toilet.
It started in the toilet, and then you took it to another room.
Here.
Yeah, I just imagined it in my head. I played out the scenario in my head. What would I do in this situation?
He needs to be prepared for all things.
There's got to be a way for you to monetize this stuff. There's got to be a way for you to synthesize this psychotic creativity that you have in your head. I don't know.
Be like a soap opera writer.
I don't know in what direction you would point this fire hose of, I don't know.
I mean, actually, soap opera writing's probably not a bad idea. Because he's going to come up with way crazier stuff, right along those lines. I thought she was dead. No, that was my twin,
What did that coach of the Utah Jazz call their game? That would be the...
Iconic.
That was a masterpiece
master.
of dog shit.
Masterpiece of dog shrimp. Yeah, because this stuff is all going to waste. And we can break your balls, but creative people need a place to point that creativity.
Well, yeah, that's
And
why.
if it's just going into your toilet bowl as you leave the room.
But it's not just, it's internalized. Like, I think I do think it comes from somewhere. There's no particular incident where this came from, but me being angry about that and wanting someone to console me, it comes from like something in the depths of like
something that you've never had, something that you're missing.
Like, wow, he just doesn't care that I'm offended by one of his little friends. And I walked off the golf course and like threw my club, and he doesn't care. He's not coming back for me. He just wants to play a stupid little game with his stupid little friends. Like, I was really like going back and forth about it. Yeah, no, it's psycho. but that's what happened.
Listen, as long as you understand your own psychosis, I guess. I don't think it rises to the level of psychosis, but something's going on there.
But I want him to want to be good. Like I want him to know that I'm mad, but I don't want to have to tell him that I'm mad. And I want him to know the right things to say.
Why aren't you going out there and meeting people and trying to manifest this in a live, breathing human being?
Because he's already mad at them and they don't exist. That's why.
Right, but if he's mad at I'm not talking about people that don't exist. I'm talking about people that do exist. It doesn't matter if you're mad at the non-existent guy. There are existent guys out there.
That you could be mad at.
Or not be mad at. Imagine finding somebody where you find out, you learn about yourself, that you just don't get mad at them. And you don't want all that petty stuff anymore.
People are weird in person, though, I found out.
Yeah, that's the best part about people.
So I've been, like, Facebook dating and chatting back and forth with these guys. And last week, when my friend was in town, we went to Twist. And I thought one of the guys that I matched with, like, was there. And then I messaged him, like, the day after. And I said, hey, were you at Twist? And he was like, yeah, I thought that was you. I'm like, why didn't you say something? Like,
but you didn't either.
I didn't know it was him, but he saw me. Like, I thought that looked like the dude, but he saw me, and he was like, yeah, I saw you. I just didn't say anything. I'm like, missed opportunity.
All right, well, listen. You figure it out with your toilet boyfriend and go from there. I got to take a break. Get my head around that. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. Rover's Morning Glory.
The company is developing a product to let you lucid dream so you can use your brain.